Yo guys, what's going on? So today I want to go over something pretty cool that I managed to do, which is basically soft reset on the Nintendo Switch with a Wavebird controller. Now, what I'm going to do with this is basically have two different switches and be able to reset on both of them with one controller. You can already do this like through GameCube and whatnot. With Game Boy Advance, people use the Wavebird controller. If you didn't know, to like do multiple multi hunts and whatnot, so you can have like four of these or even more set up. So the way that this works when you're hunting, so the way you can control multiple switches or game cubes and whatnot is you use the way the Wavebird works is it has this receiver and you're able to make this receiver the same channel as the Wavebird, so you can have multiple one of these receivers hooked into like a different GameCube or Switch, and you're able to control that with this. So you just need to set it to the correct channel, and you can control. I think uh, I don't know if there's a limit. I think there's a limit of like I don't know if it's 16 or 20. I'm not 100% sure. I may have to check it out or whatnot to see what it was, but you can control a good amount of these. So with one Wavebird controller, my objective was a bit simpler. Was to just control uh, what is it? Control two switches with this. You can actually, I'll probably eventually do three switches. I just don't have my other Switch right now. I'm getting a Switch OLED, the Pokemon edition. But when I have that, I might do three of them. So I'll be able to shiny hunt, basically tip dual or right now dual and then triple later shiny hunt with this. So and there is one problem that I had come across earlier. This was already doable with the Mayflash here. I mean, not doable, but you were able to at least do hunting methods such as random encounter and whatnot. But the problem always was that you couldn't really soft reset. And I say soft reset because it's not really soft resetting these days on the Switch. You close the game and you open it, so not really soft resetting. But regardless, I'm going to be using soft resetting here as the term. So when you to soft reset in the game, you had to have the home button active, and obviously this does not have a home button and nothing. You couldn't remap, you couldn't do that on the Switch, and that was the issue. So what I have here is the Titan 1. Now the Titan 1 does allow you to remap. So I just found this out here, that you're able to do this with the Mayflash here and the Titan 1 and the Wavebird. So this will be able to you'll be able to remap this uh, and make the start home button be able to do well, basically reformat this stuff. The only caveat I did find out for some reason, and I don't know if it's because of it's this or whatever. When I tried to use when I was running it through this, I couldn't go right on here, so I had to actually reprogram the C stick to go right. So I do have every other direction on there, but I might just mainly use the C stick. So that's just one caveat. But if you are using this for purely soft resetting, then it really doesn't matter. All you need to do is go forward and whatnot usually, or press A or whatever you're doing, and you're pretty good. So I don't know many times where you'd need to use the right stick to encounter a Pokemon. Uh, so yeah, the way that this works is you'll need to have this plugged into the Mayflash, and you also need to have the Mayflash on the PC. And this is only works with stuff that has the PC. So far, I know like Nyko does this, and maybe the original Nintendo one, but I don't. Obviously, they don't sell the original Nintendo GameCube adapter. So the Mayflash, in my opinion, is obviously the best one. They have a I have a Nyko one, but it does not have this switch that puts it on PC, and you need that to be on PC for this to work at all. And then when you also plug it into, it does have the Nintendo Switch here, but you will not be using that. You'll always have it on PC, and that's what will make the Titan 1 actually work. So just keep that in mind. Do not switch this from PC. Always have this on PC. And then you'll have obviously your uh, you know, your what do you call it, receiver inside of here, and then you can just go and pair up, make sure that the receiver's all on the channel and stuff like that, and it's all good. So I will show a bit of what to do. So we'll go to the G-Tuner Pro right now to kind of show around in this, just some things that I figured out, and just some things that you need to know just so you don't spend hours trying to figure it out like I kind of somewhat did. Uh, and so here we've got G-Tuner Pro. You'll need to download this when you do uh, this for the first time. If you do not have this, there's a USB, uh, what is it? USB B or USB Mini B, I think it is. Here you're gonna have to get that. It's a very, in my opinion, it's a very uncommon to like ones you probably don't have, like USB C and USB and mini USB. So just make sure you have this. It's still relatively cheap on Amazon and whatnot. Just get a cord or something like that so you can plug this in. Then you also want to have this. When you have that plugged in, you also want to have the Mayflash plugged in here. And just to make sure you have this plugged in, make sure that it's whoops, I have this one plugged into a different one. I do have two of them, obviously, because you need two of them if you want to have two different inputs for the controller. So uh, you'll want to plug this black one in here to there, because that's the data cable. Don't plug this one in here. That's just for power. That's only used if you're going to be using more than one controller on here. But obviously, we're only using one receiver per Mayflash adapter here. So just you don't even need to, when you're plugging this in to the switch, you don't even need to use this one. Just use the black one. So with that in and connected, you'll want to go and start out in tools up here, and then you'll want to go, well, you can, one thing you'll want to do is go to options. Before that, you'll update your firmware. It'll come up and say, hey, this is not running the correct firmware, whatever, update, and just update everything. But after that, go into options under tools, and you'll want to go to the device. And what you need to do here, and make sure you do this because I forgot to do this on one of mine and was completely lost at what was going on. So there's an output protocol here, and by default it's on like PlayStation 4 or something like that, or PlayStation 5. Make sure it's on Nintendo Switch, or else it will not work. And then after you're done with that, you'll want to, this will be checked, the DS4 BT boost. You can uncheck that since we won't need that, and you can put on the 1ms response. This will just make it better for a faster response time, as it says. And this isn't really needed, in all honesty. It's just something you might as well have on. It's like, I mean, you're not gonna need it, but for Pokemon, obviously for resetting. But it's whatever, you put it on, it's fine. So other than that, in here, there's nothing really. I don't think anything that you need in here. This is other Titan 1 stuff. But that is basically the most important options you need to do there, at least for this. So there is other important stuff that I'll get to later. The next thing will be going into the scripting here. So in here, you'll want to just go and do a new GPC script. And this is where we're going to be remapping our buttons and being able to make it so we can actually use the home button. And just so you're aware, like obviously I have like HID button, there. It's like, what the heck does that mean? Here is where you can go to device monitoring, and with your control, as you can see, I've hooked this up now. So if I go ahead and start, doing buttons, you can see on the screen that when I do a button, uh, it lights up a certain way. And this is where the button for the right just doesn't work, as you can see. So that's why I've hooked it up to the C stick so it actually works. But this is where you can find out what buttons are doing for which ones. And I am on the output of PS5, so we want to put that to Switch, so you know what to actually put here. And you'll just go ahead and, as you can see, it just goes there. So the home button now, or the start button by default is switch plus there. We're remapping that to be switch home, and then the right one to be there. So, and then we're going to unmap the switch minus and switch plus because we don't need those. We all we need for this is our start, or is our home button, and then the X button to get out and whatnot, and then that's all default mapped. So no need to do anything there. So pretty simple script. Just do that. Save it wherever you save files and whatnot. You can. I think I have my on my desktop or somewhere, just somewhere where you can access it. And then over in Programmer, you'll see once you create that script, you'll have it here. Mine is just remap GameCube controller, and all you're gonna do is, well, here, let me delete that just so I can show this. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna drag that over to here, and you're gonna drop that in 1, and then you're going to want to program device. Now with that, it's gonna say bytecode summary, whatever, overwrite bytecode, yes. Okay, and then it'll finish. So that will actually sync it to this, so you're able to actually use it. And then when you have this plugged in to your Switch, just make sure that you do flip this to 1, because it by default, if you do 0, it's just going to do default of whatever it is, and it's not going to remap anything. So you want to make sure you have it on 1, and this will need to be done. Well, you'll need to press the button when you turn on your Switch every time, because this will reset, and you'll need to just flip this to 1 every time. Not too tedious or anything like that. Just obviously a little setup process that you'll need to do. You can also compile this and run this in here for the script, and if I do that, then you can see that my home button and HID button 3 is mapped together, so that's doing that. So as you can see, that works if you're wanting to see if your script is working before you obviously move it over to here and have to upload it to your Switch and then find out it doesn't work, or put it on this and then find out on your Switch that it doesn't work. So also make sure you're careful with these, because these can be relatively fragile. From what I've seen online. So just make sure you're not abusing these or anything like that. And after you're done with your Switch as well, make sure you're unplugging them. They do get hot after a while, so risk of, I'm guessing there's possibly a risk of like damage to them if you leave them in. So just an FYI, leave that there, or don't leave them in. All right, now I'm on my Switches. I have both of them there. As you can see, the right stick doesn't work, but if I use the C stick, it works there. And if I go back there, and it works. So as you can see, there are 2 different Switches. Obviously, I just have Brilliant Diamond on both of them, but the other stuff is pretty much different on there. But these are my 2 Switches that I use to shiny hunt. And some things to note now. When you do hook them up for the first time, you'll want to actually go into the settings, and there's a settings in the controllers that will say something like Pro Motion Wired System, or Pro Controller Wired Communication. You will want to flip that on. I think that is required for this. Then you'll also then want to go into your controller settings here when you do for the first time, and it'll show that it's a USB. Also, you may want to run this through the directly to the Switch for the first time when you do connect your Wavebird, because it may not work. If you're having issue with that, try that. But if it does, great. Though I was having a bit of trouble, but obviously that was because of my own dumb mistake on the Titan software. So don't forget that thing I mentioned before, which was basically change the output to the correct console. So it's the Switch. Then after you've done that, put it on 1. Make sure you have your correct configuration remapping on there, and yeah, once that's all there, you can just go ahead and press A, and as you can see, both of them loading up. A little different time. I have noticed that it's not 100% consistent sometimes. So just be cautioned that aware that uh, it may mess up sometimes. So just have like a controller handy or switch something that if something does go wrong. But for the most part, as you can see, they both start up. They're both obviously being controlled uh, just by my clicking of this. So uh, obviously I'm in different places right now. I don't have a reset going on in the other game, but I am on the dialogue hunt on this game still. I think like 2000 something for that. But the real important part, obviously, is when I press the start button. It goes back, and we can reset, close the game, and we can go in it again. That is so cool, and I'm so glad that I have this set up now to be able to do that, because I'm going to be able to double hunt, and if I get another thing, I'm going to be able to triple hunt doing soft resets. So that's going to be really cool. I'm so glad I was able to figure this out. It just took a while to kind of understand where everything was and what I had to do. Obviously, the Wavebird was already kind of figured out there. It was just kind of what needed to be done with the Titan one and all that. So now that I figured that out, that's pretty great. So hopefully this helps you guys out as well, and maybe you can use this to soft reset as well more efficiently on here with the Wavebird controller, like if you're a shiny hunter like me. So yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.